I hear you.
I hear you.
You are the exile, the one Atris warned us about. She said you betrayed the Jedi by going to war when it was forbidden to you. You turned on your masters, your teachings, and yourself. That is not all she says. She says you know nothing of loyalty to any cause except your own animal instincts, and she told us why you fell to the dark side. Atris says that you fell to the dark side in the Mandalorian Wars when you gave in to your lust for battle. Once you tasted war, you could not give it up. Atris says when the Dark Lord Revan returned to the Republic, you did not march with him because you had fallen so far you could no longer feel the Force. So it was a matter of choice then. If Atris has erred in her evaluation of your motivations, it might be best to inform her. I believe that is the extent of her expressed feelings toward you. There are variations at times, but all rise from the same foundation. Yes, it is difficult sometimes for others to truly speak their heart or listen to it. The words often prove difficult, or they do not come at all. Without having seen you and Atris fight, I cannot say. Battle is a pure form of expression. It is heart and discipline, reduced to movement and motion. Perhaps it may prove truer than conversing with words. In battle, the words are swept away, giving way to actions. Mercy, sacrifice, anger, fear. These are pure moments of expression. Before you go, Exile, a question for you, if I may ask it. You have touched the Force. What does it feel like? Please, I wish to know.
It is like a cloud, a mist that drifts from living creature to creature, set in motion by currents and eddies. It is the eye of the storm, the passions of all living things turned into energy, into a chorus. It is the rising swell at the end of life, the promise of new territories and new blood, the call of new mysteries in the dark.
I see. Thank you both. I appreciate you sharing your knowledge with me.
Why have you approached me?
Do all these women look alike? Not like I'm complaining, I mean, it's interesting.
They are Ichani. It is not unusual for their children to share similar features from the same parents.
If you have a reason for approaching me, speak it. I would welcome a chance to instruct you. I have been anxious to teach you many principles of combat ever since you invaded this place. Very well. Follow me, and we shall see if you have the endurance to learn the most basic of our teachings. Before we begin, are you familiar with Ichani traditions? The fight will be with hands and feet only. No stimulants, shields, weapons, or other items. Also, do not call upon any Jedi techniques during our contest. If you do, then the battle will be over. In turn, I will not use our higher forms, for this is only an opening battle between us, a test of each other's strength. Then let us begin.
I hear you.
Mistress, the last of the handmaidens is not among us.
She has left with the exile.
Left?
But why? Her oath.
I sent her to travel with the exile. She may discover something I cannot.
Mistress, the last of the handmaidens. She is willful, and she has demonstrated her fascination with Jedi. It may not have been why.
I know what I have done, but it was necessary.
Well, now that we're off that Dejaric board of a planet, I say we burn sky until we see lines.
What is the machine saying? We seem to have found it.
Do you know why we have called you here?
As Revan summoned you, so have you come full circle to return to the Jedi.
Why did you defy us? The Jedi are guardians of the peace, and have been for centuries. This call to war undermines all that we have worked for.
Is Revan your master now? Or is it the horror you wrought at Malachor that has caused you to see the truth at last?
You refuse to hear us. You have shut us out, and so have shut yourself to the galaxy.
We feel that your true understanding of what happened at Malachor 5 will only happen in time, and it cannot happen here, near the battlegrounds where you fought.
You are exiled, and you are a Jedi no longer.
There is one last thing. Your lightsaber. Surrender it to us.
Much defiance in that one.
You were correct, Kavar. When she was here, I felt it. It was as if she was not there, more like an echo.
Revan's influence has grown amongst the youngest of the Order. She speaks to their passions, not their sense. The war has touched them. Many of them have found themselves in the war against the Mandalorians.
It is as I feared, and I fear that we have played into the hands of the enemy.
We have not lost a Jedi this day. You felt it. She has lost herself. She is no Jedi. She walked Revan's path, but she was not strong enough.
I fear it is our teachings that may have led Revan to choose the path she did.
We are not the ones who taught her.
We take responsibility, Atris, not cast blame.
The choice of one was the choice of us all. Revan's teacher intended no harm, and Revan had many teachers since.
Yet they all stem from the same source. Her teachings violated the Jedi Code and lead all who listen to the dark side, as they did the exile.
You are wrong. The dark side is not what I sensed in the exile. Surely the rest of you felt it as well. That emptiness we felt. She has changed.
Whatever that wound was, it was of the dark side. We should not have let her depart. She will simply join Revan again, or perhaps worse.
What would you have done with her, Atris? Be mindful of your feelings. This is not Revan who stood before you. This one walks a different path.
No, although that may come in time. We let her go because we must. Where she travels, she carries her destination with her.
Malachor 5 should have been her grave. You saw it in her walk, and in the Force. It was as if she was already dead.
No, not death. Many battles remain for that one, if what we have seen is true. But the future is a shifting thing, and she cuts like a blade through it.
We should have told her the truth. A Jedi deserves to know.
No good would have come from it, even if what you believed was true. There is still the matter of Revan, and such truths could leave us vulnerable on two fronts.
Perhaps in many years we will call her before us and explain what happened to her, and how she may be healed. Until then, she must accept her journey.
But she may never discover the truth, and she will never know why we cast her out.
And that is the future we must accept.
Those Jedi sure like their secrets, don't they?
A strange coincidence.
It is no coincidence. There is some larger plan at work here, and we are walking into it. This is too convenient to be anything but a trap.
Those are Atris's records you have stolen.
What the hell are you doing on our ship?
I have come to join you. I can help you against this threat.
Sister, you and yours are the threat.
If it comforts you to believe that, then so be it. But the enemies you face are many, and you will need all the help you can get. It is just me, and I am doing this because Atris believes you will need help.
Indeed. But of course, what does one more matter to our journey? I have had enough of this. I will be in my chambers.
Yeah, me too. I'll be in my chambers. But since I don't have any, I guess I'll just go to the cockpit like I always do. If she's coming with us, she gets the cargo hold. Might remind her how fun it is to get locked up.
General.
The cargo hold is enough. I assure you, there is little I need. I will attend to myself. It is no matter. I am used to worse conditions, but thank you for your kindness.
General, is there a reason you don't carry a lightsaber anymore? That's not your lightsaber anymore. That belonged to someone who served Revan in the wars, not the person you are now. You could build another one, if you wanted to, but you know that. I never said you were, but whatever the reason, you should put it behind you. I know this. A lightsaber is part of who you are. Without it, you're not complete. I think I can help you out there. I happen to know the parts you need. We need a power cell, emitter matrix, lens and focusing crystal, though I have to admit the crystal is beyond my means. Never did understand them. Those parts are fairly common, though a Jedi once told me that it's best if your lightsaber reflects you, and if it is constructed of things that identify it as your own. Just bring the parts to me before you get started building it. I'll make sure they're usable.
For the last time, no. Because you're programmed to force your opponent to go first, and nothing will convince me the computer doesn't cheat. Even if I didn't have to go first and somehow I didn't suspect you of counting cards, I still wouldn't play with a trash compactor. Yeah? How many credits?
All I'm saying is that you've gone for a long time without a memory wipe. Most droids behave erratically under those circumstances. I know that, but I'm fixing everything else around here, so I may as well take a look at you too. What was that? That's what I'm talking about. That is not normal droid behavior. I am not pushing you around. I just wanted to see if there was anything I could do to upgrade your functionality. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Good. Now let's get started. You wouldn't guess it from the outside, but it looks like you've been through a lot. I'll bet. I'm all done with you. If anything comes loose, let me know and I'll put it back in place.
How many more do we intend to gather to us? This ship is not the galaxy. There is only so much room. Then prepare for an army, I think, for it seems many more will come in time. They will follow you because you are a leader. Their kind always needs such, even when the figure deserves no such obedience. Because I am not blind, that is why. I see what they see, hear their voices when they speak to you, and notice the change when they speak to others. I know many things, and I know what I am not. I am no leader. I speak with a voice that will never move others. I speak with a passion that goes unheard. They obey you because you are a leader, and perhaps something more. Have you noticed what has been happening? Have you felt it in them? They echo you, either fighting or surrendering to their feelings, their loyalty, their duty. Your mere presence serves as an example to them of something to uphold or something to fight against. Watch them carefully, see their patterns, and recognize the strength in it. Influence can be a weapon, one that you may need before your journey is done. Good, and then act upon it. It is a powerful tool to motivate others. That was Revan's way, I believe. It was a strength. Have you never asked yourself how Revan took the Republic and Jedi beneath her? How she made them hers? Ah, but to make officers turn on their own people, to bomb innocent worlds, to make pacts. Strong influence, indeed. And where did these Sith teachings come from? And why did Revan embrace them so strongly? So many questions, yet the answers are few. Oh, did they? No, Revan met no Sith empire, yet she learned their teachings. Many have mistaken the soldiers beneath Revan, the machines that were constructed to be the Sith. They are wrong. The Sith is a belief, and what Revan formed was not an empire, but something else. Yet how she did it is curious. And I suspect the answer to that question is tied to another. How was Revan able to corrupt so many so quickly? Not a one, but we shall see where our journey takes us, I think, and see how many answers we come across, yes? Ask, and I will answer. There are countless reasons, and I have neither the time nor the patience to list them all. No, she may have her uses. I will abide her presence, and so should you. Because Atris is a threat, and as much as she would try to use us against you, so may we use her servants against her. Do not see every enemy as an enemy. See them instead as an ally, whether they realize it or not. This situation may yet work to our advantage. Good. That is the most to be done until events unfold, as I'm sure they will in time. Ask, and I will answer. There is nothing wrong with my sight, if that is your question. I see all that I need, though the seeing of things flesh and blood has failed me some time ago. They were distractions only. There is nothing wrong with my eyes. They simply have atrophied from use. They are adequate to distinguish shapes, silhouettes. If need be, I could heal them, restore my sight, but sight can prove a distraction. When one relies on sight to perceive the world, it is like trying to stare at the galaxy through a crack in the door. But that is a lesson for another time. You must learn to see crude matter for what it is, before the veil is lifted. Ask, and I will answer. Atris herself is not as familiar to me as perhaps she should be, yet I feel I know her, yes. Because Atris's path is one I walked long ago, and it is a chapter of my life that has been read and closed. She has taken the first steps, I think. We shall see. Surely you felt the righteous anger, the spoken judgments, the lack of forgiveness. I was a historian once, gathering the relics of the Jedi, learning the ancient mysteries. Always there were more questions. One quickly learns that the Jedi Code does not give all the answers. If you are to truly understand, then you will need the contrast, not adherence to a single idea. That is why Atris and the others blamed me, sentenced me. They believed me responsible for Revan's fall. You have already asked much. I do not wish to speak of this any longer. Ask, and I will answer. I know of them, yes, and how much like beasts they had become. Combined, united against the Jedi, they command legions of Sith. But above these legions there are 3 who must be stopped. As long as any one of them lives, then we, and all life, are doomed. One bathes in pain, feeds on it for sustenance. The other has ceased being a living being, so consumed by hunger that he has forgotten his own flesh. And the last is a creature of betrayals, for without such things there is no hope. Yes, of pain he has learned much. Of knowledge, of teaching, he knows nothing. Like the others, he was spawned by the horrors of the Mandalorian Wars. He exists solely to spread his pain to all Jedi everywhere. The less said of that one, the better. Even a stray thought may draw him, and it is possible that he cannot be defeated. He is one who has learned the greatest of the Sith teachings, and it enslaved him. Until you are ready, we must not seek him out. Even now she is difficult to see. She must remain hidden for now until the time is right. If not, then all our efforts will be for nothing. In this you must trust me. If she is exposed too soon, then this war will be over before it has begun. Ask, and I will answer. Perhaps I think it is fair to say that few did. She came to me, yes, both before and after, before Revan knew herself. and after, in the times when Revan was coming into her own and learning she was more than she had been told. At one time, Revan was my Padawan, in times past long ago. But Revan, when she had learned all she could, had other masters, that fool Jar and other Jedi on other planets. She learned from each, but in the end, she turned back to me when she realized there was nothing more to be learned from the Jedi except how one could leave them forever. Revan was power. It was like staring into the heart of the Force. Even then you could see the Jedi she would slay etched on her soul. You are different. When I look at you, it is like staring at the death of the Force. I know more, but it may not be enough for the answers you seek. Revan had a mother and father, parents, ancestors, like all Jedi do, and when she awakened to her potential, I was there to see it. But where she was born, where she came from, I do not know, any more than I know where she walks now. Some said that Revan was born in the outer regions, beyond the Rim, and that's what called to her during the Mandalorian Wars. And after, it was the call of home. I know more, but it may not be enough for the answers you seek. Fall. Ah, already you presume much. You were there at Malachor. Revan's choices were always her own. It was not teaching or circumstance or example. It was her. Is that what she was? Or was she always true to herself, no matter what personality she wore? And there is something that the Council may never understand, that perhaps Revan never fell. The difference between a fall and a sacrifice is sometimes difficult, but I feel that Revan understood that difference more than anyone knew. The galaxy would have fallen if Revan had not gone to war. Perhaps she became the Dark Lord out of necessity to prevent a greater evil. I do not believe the Jedi Council changed Revan, as they claimed. They merely stripped away the surface and allowed the true self to emerge again, someone who was willing to wage war to save others. But that is my belief, since I knew Revan from long ago, as a master knows their apprentice. She came to me, but ask, and I will answer. Yes. Have you come with questions? Very well. What is it that drives you? Very well. Of which did you wish instruction? Very well. What?
Yes? I am training, so that if danger should strike, my body and my reflexes will be prepared. That, and I had forgotten how long hyperspace travel can be. If I do not have something to focus my attention on, I fear my sanity will erode as well.
What do you mean, Pazak? What, again?
No, I do not trust him. That too. That is untrue. You and the Iridonian trust each other. Or at least the Iridonian trusts you. We heard much of the Iridonian when we served Atris. Atris believed that the Iridonian held the knowledge to restoring Telos. Yes. His skill with machines is something beyond which most can aspire to. His shield technology surpasses the designs of even the most skilled of Ichani power architects. I do not realize if you know what it means to have such a one respect and follow you. The Iridonian allied himself with no one on the entire world of Telos, yet he will follow you at the risk of his life. His stance, in many ways, mirrors yours. Where he walks, he carries a world upon his shoulders. And like you, I do not know if he has ever faced it. You may ask. I honor the face of my mother. It is not something usually spoken of in the company of others. There is no need to apologize. You were merely remarking on something that you saw. There is no wrong in that. It is not a sensitive subject, but a subject that requires trust. There is no such trust between you and I, and such trust takes time. You may ask. We attend Atris. It is the duty of all of us, from the first of my sisters to me, the last of the handmaidens. I am the last of the handmaidens. This is correct. I train so that one day that will no longer be true. That is not entirely correct. There are times I am distracted. Perhaps once having known the ways of the Jedi, you may understand what occupies my thoughts. There is much knowledge on Telos, and only one of the Jedi remain. There is so much about their ways of battle, their forms, their stances, that may be lost forever if the last of the Jedi is taken from the galaxy. I know your meaning, but I have not been clear on mine. Stance, form, discipline are a means of expression and communication. They speak one's heart and one's devotion to their cause. It was to the Jedi traitor Malak. It was to the Jedi traitor Revan. When Terrace was destroyed, it showed Malak's heart through its execution and intent. It was brutal, without finesse, but showed his commitment to defeat the Jedi. Yet with Revan, there was the same commitment, but it was a subtle thing, like weaving threads in a tapestry or strokes upon a canvas. She spoke through battles and tactics in a way one could never do in words. She showed her heart at Malachor V, and finally at the end of the Jedi Civil War. I believe she was speaking to Malak in that final battle, though few knew it. But to say that seems an untruth, based on what I know of the Jedi. The Force can drive others, but there is still choice, is there not? If there is no choice in the Force, then our teachings and our actions are for nothing, and I refuse to believe that is true. What stronger display than death for conveying one's sense of being betrayed by one's own student? Revan's anger must have been great indeed. I would have wished to have been there for that final exchange, and seen the truth of their conflict with each other. Yes? Training is something reserved for certain caste members of the Echani, but I do not see the harm in instructing you in some basic principles. I do not understand how you and Atris fight, but I will instruct you on how Echani children are raised on warfare. All Echani fighting principles rely on foundations. If one does not understand the most basic of fighting moves, it is not possible to understand the higher tiers. It is similar to learning the alphabet of a language before being able to use words, then sentences. As a foundation, I will instruct you in our elementary movements. The body itself is the first weapon you must master. It is not something that can be described. Let us duel, you and I, and that shall teach you more than my words can. Use only your hands and feet to strike at me, nothing else, or our combat shall be over. Do not resort to using any items or any force techniques you may possess. Such things will obstruct learning. Very well. I shall match my movements to resist your efforts, and do not hold back, or I will hurt you. You fought well indeed. You have caught the principles of the style by watching and anticipating my movements. Before you go, there is something I must know. Why did you go back, face trial? I see, but I feel I understand what you felt. To go to war, and then return to be judged by those who had not. Yes? I fail to understand the problem. I had heard the Coreward systems had customs concerning modesty, but when training, such customs are not practical or efficient. I can see no fault in your reasoning. I do have bulkier clothes. Will this do? They suffice for training purposes. They belong to my mother. She was the one my father followed to war. She was a Jedi. These are her robes. I have not worn them since they came into my possession. They are the only thing of her that I possess. I never knew her. There is no absence of presence when there was nothing there to begin with. I miss only that I never knew her at all, and what it was about her that caused my father to follow her to war.
I have felt it too, my lord. A disturbance in the Force. It was difficult to make out, my lord. At first it was such a quiet thing. I did not notice it. But now I wonder as if it has always been there. I merely could not hear it before. The sound built so slowly. Yet when you listen for it, you can make out the strains, even over the background life of the universe. Do you feel it is a... You are the darkness in which all life dies, my lord. All life exists to feed your power. And my life is yours. I beg you, please, let me die. Yes, this disturbance echoes through the Force. I can follow it to its source and bring it to you. I will leave at once, my lord.
Don't you ever give it a rest? Fine, don't mind me. I just need to get some stuff from the cargo hold.
You know the first tier of styles, but you're holding back because I am unarmed. Tell me where you were trained.
What can I say? I'm a quick study.
You lie. Few know the Echani styles by reflex.
Oh yeah? Guess you saw a lot of the world while you were freezing your cargo hold off in the Ice Academy. Didn't you, sister? Next time I walk in here, I'm carrying a blaster. Oh yeah, one other thing. Don't think I haven't noticed the way you've been sparring with our ex-Jedi friend. This isn't some pleasure yacht. So if I did know all the Echani movements, I might know more than just the first tier, including the etiquette rituals. So keep your hands where I can see them.
Fool.
Shut up.
Unnecessary observation. Targets acquired. Annoying recitation. Let us proceed to facilitate communications. Recitation. And bring about the termination of hostilities.
Yes?
Failing, Master. Systems failing, Master. Systems failing, Master.
What is it?
What's going on?
So you've returned.
What is it? What have you discovered? Damn that woman. Do you have any proof? I wish that were enough. To finger Zerka, we need hard proof. As far as the killers go, we need them dead or alive. Our jurisdiction doesn't stretch out to the restoration zones. If you find anything else out, let me know. What is it? I see. And where and when did you kill them? I see. Well, you certainly earned the bounty on those two dangerous criminals. Here it is. I think you'll find the amount more than adequate. The TSF once again thanks you for your cooperation.
Joanna masoring ke cacutan aku bawanda bawa jaji.
Pornace niso pamaranca dori savota. Govana met. Sucha to. Entes krem so chinor ta herem be chok wendido. Bomrama nikodos. Ching pal.
Watagla tunji mula rayi mula kritirite kakolo melos. Para makan wana. Para makan.